Hi, my name's Steve Lang. I'm the Assistant Director for Career Services at Central Washington University's Westside Centers in Des Moines and Pierce County. This presentation is designed to provide some important guidelines and rules and tips on drafting cover letters, specifically for teachers who will be applying for teaching positions. To begin, I'll just start addressing some frequently asked questions about cover letters. One that often comes up is, should I send a cover letter even when it's not requested? The answer is yes. You should always send a cover letter whenever possible. So why should you send or write a cover letter? It allows you to personalize your application, to express your enthusiasm for the position or the school district, in the case might be. It enables you to not only provide more detail on your qualifications that match the position, but also to kind of express some of the attributes that you might have that the school district is looking for. It gives the employer the chance to think of you as a person and not just an applicant. So how long should a cover letter be? 1 page or less is recommended. Typically, it's going to contain 3 to 4 paragraphs and use a standard business letter format. Another big one that comes up is, to whom should the cover letter be addressed to? You should address your cover letter to the person who you've been in contact with, or the name of the person or the contact that is on the position announcement. If no name is available, then most employers recommend you use personnel director or hiring manager. So one of the things that a cover letter can enable you to make a positive first impression, but you cannot always be certain in what order your application documents will be read. I've worked with some employers who always read the cover letter first before they read a resume. They want to know how enthusiastic and how articulate the person is before they read the resume. But I've also worked with other employers who always read the resumes first. And what they do is they look for the best qualified candidates based on the resumes. And then they might pull those aside and say, okay, here's our top 6 or 8 or 10 candidates. Then what they do is they turn to the cover letters to see which of those candidates can articulate their enthusiasm and their skills and abilities about the position the best, and then move those people up to the top of the list. So a good cover letter is especially important also when writing is a key component of the job. So a good cover letter can really help you, whereas a bad cover letter can certainly hurt you. So now let's provide some tips to help you prepare to write a good cover letter. It's important that you use a copy of the position description so that you know what the required qualifications and keywords are, which are what you want to incorporate into your cover letter. You also want to consider how your knowledge, skills, and experience match the requirements of the teaching position or type of position in the district to which you are applying. And then it's also important to research the school or the district so you know its mission, purpose, and values, and so you can incorporate or weave something into your cover letter that enables the district to know you know something about them. Additionally, plan on spending at least twice as much time as you think you will need to write a cover letter. In other words, it takes a lot of time to write a cover letter, so give yourself more time than you think. So understanding the parts of a cover letter. Most of you have a resume where you have a resume heading, and your name is probably the most prominent thing on your resume, or it should be close to the most prominent. Right at the top, when an employer looks at your resume, they see your name, and then they scan down through your qualifications on your resume. I recommend using the same header that you use on your resume on your cover letter. One thing, it ties those two documents together. And secondly, is that when an employer turns to your cover letter, the first thing they see is your name again, which is they're going to know exactly who's writing this letter very quickly. So that's what I would recommend doing. Use it like a letterhead. Use the resume header and use the same header on your cover letter to tie the documents together. Then you want to list the date, your contact's name, title, school district, and address, and then begin your letter with "Dear" and the name of the contact or the person you've been dealing with, or the name of the person who's listed on the position description, who the contact is. If neither one of those is known, then use personnel director or hiring manager. It's actually, if you want to go a step further, you can't find the name, feel free to check the school or district websites for the name of the hiring manager. And if you still can't find it, it's okay to make an inquiry call. Call the school HR department and find out if they're willing to give you the name of the person that you would have addressed the letter to. If that fails, then go back to the standard ones of personal director or hiring manager. Never use "to whom it may concern" or "dear madam" or "sir." This to an employer is simply a lazy approach. It indicates that you haven't done the legwork or done the research to find out who this letter should be addressed to. So let me address the parts of a cover letter. So the introductory paragraph, we'll continue with the parts of a cover letter. Introductory paragraph, in your opening sentence, you want to try to engage the reader and express your interest in employment with that school or district. You also want to name the position or type of position to which you are applying, so that they know what position you're applying for. Also state how you learned about the position, and then mention your specific knowledge of the school and add something positive about the school or district in your opening paragraph. As you move into your body paragraphs, you want to highlight the skills and strengths you possess that parallel those qualities needed to succeed in the teaching position or type of position which you are applying. And then give examples of your related coursework or experience that explain how you gained these skills or how these skills transfer from one job to another. Include, quantify the results of things that you were involved in, and list your accomplishments and achievements. Do not just repeat what's on your resume. In your closing paragraph, it's always a good idea to reiterate your interest in the position and state that you believe or you are confident you possess the qualifications for the role. And then it's also, you want to ask for the interview, not specifically saying, "I look forward to interviewing," but a good way to phrase this is, "I look forward to an opportunity to discuss this position," or include the title of the position with you further. So what you're doing is you're saying, "I look forward to learning more about the position and sharing more about myself." And then make it easy for them to reach you. Conclude that final paragraph with, "I can be reached by phone," and then list your phone number, or by email. The reason you want to do this, although your contact information is included on the cover letter elsewhere, if they have reviewed your resume first and they're reading the cover letter and they have decided that you're like the top candidate or the best candidate and they want to get you in immediately, they have an opportunity to pick up the phone or send you an email immediately. So make it easy for them to reach you. And then thank the employer for considering you for the position. In your closing salutation, standard business letter closing salutation is "sincerely." I think another one that is equally as applicable to use is "respectfully." Either one of those works really well for you. Closing salutation and then signing your name. If you are attaching documents along with your cover letter, leave a couple spaces below your signature line and then list enclosures and list what you're including, such as a resume, letters of reference, or a portfolio of your work. So here's a couple of important reminders. It's like was mentioned, use a standard business letter format. There may be occasions where a memo format might work better, but generally stick with the standard business letter format. And then, I can't emphasize enough, proof it carefully. And one of the best ways to proof your cover letter is to read it out loud, and not read it out loud just after you've completed it, but read it out loud as you are drafting it. Because you've been working on this letter for a while, you kind of know what it's supposed to be saying in your head, but because you've been going over it and over and over it, we don't really know what it sounds like when somebody else is going to read it. And so when you read it out loud, it becomes much easier to find those clumsy sentences, find the grammatical errors and the typos that you may miss because you've been working on it for so long. So I can't emphasize enough, read it out loud and you will catch a lot more errors and be able to fix your cover letter so that it is as good as it can be. Another thing that I would recommend is, once you've completed your cover letter, reach out to a career services counselor and work with them so they can go over it and help you enhance it even further. So a couple other things I want to point out is it's important when you're crafting a cover letter to know how to express your interest and confidence. So what school districts are looking for is they want to know why you love the school or the position you're applying for. They want to know that yes, this person gets it, really gets it. They want to know that that you understand the district and understand the position. And then they also want to know what you would do there. So you need to emphasize how your qualifications and skills would benefit the school based upon what they are looking for, not what you are looking for. And then another thing, sometimes it's optional, why you're a cultural fit. Some hiring managers, think if you're describing your cultural fit, it can be annoying, but you can still show that by the tone and the words and the level of formality you use in your cover letter. So here's a cover letter format for educators. Now I will show you how to find this on our website briefly, but this basically puts the different components together. So you use the heading, and then you have a date, and then your person's contact name. Here, I'll get my cursor up here so I can show you. And then dear, and then the first paragraph. This describes what goes in the first paragraph. This describes what goes in the second paragraph, and then your final paragraph. And so in the essence of time, I'm going to keep moving forward here. And then here is the actual, when you've put all the pieces together and drafted a cover letter, this is sort of what it will look like. And this is an actual, a reasonably good cover letter that you could follow. This, I will show you how to find a copy of both the format and the sample cover letter on our website. But I wanted to show you what it would look like. So I really, hopefully this, the information I provided, you find it really helpful. I also encourage you to reach out and go to our website for additional resources, and I'll show you what we have available there. And so if you click on this website, it takes you immediately to our homepage. And then if you scroll down here, this is where you can book an appointment with either Jesse Allen, who is the education counselor for the the Ellensburg campus, and myself. I work with the West Side students. So you click on book an appointment. It'll take you to our homepage, and then you can scroll down. Here's Jesse. So you can scroll down. I'm not going to scroll down to the bottom, but my picture and link is at the bottom near the bottom of the page. But just you can click on book an appointment with the counselor. It gives you an opportunity to select a service that you want. And so for a resume or cover letter, you would click on professional documents review, and then you can see a calendar of when we are available. You put some additional information about yourself in here, and then click that date where we're available that's convenient for you, and that will show up on our calendar, and we will have a Zoom link, and we will plan on meeting you on that specific date. If we go back here to the homepage, you can also find additional resources. And if you click on this career resources here, this will take you to some additional sections. So you can find a whole section on resumes, a whole section on cover letters. If you click on this cover letters and scroll down to the bottom, you'll find copies of the sample resume format and sample cover letter that I showed you. So anyway, in closing, I really hope you will take advantage of the resources that we provide here on our website. And I also encourage you to reach out. If you're on the west side, reach out to me to get assistance with your cover letters, resumes, preparing for interviews, anything related to career services. And then over on the Ellensburg campus, reach out to Jesse. So really, like I said, I encourage you to reach out to us. We're here to help you, and we look forward to helping you in any way that we can.